bit of a...
Matthew, introduce yourself to a few thousand people.
So I'm Matthew Rolph, I'm the Managing Director of Graf UK Limited. Our business is based in Banbury in Oxfordshire, and we are in the water management business, so sustainable water management, focusing on stormwater management, wastewater treatment, rainwater harvesting and garden products.
What's the history of the business? Because you're not just provincial.
No,
So this area.
we have a German parent company, and so we used to be a customer of Graf's in the UK since 2007. So we were a very small independent business importing their products, selling it to the construction industry in the UK, and between 2007 2014 managed to sort of get a foothold in the UK for their products to such an extent they were ready to invest and acquired our business, and so we've been trading as Graf UK Limited now for 10 years. This is our 10th year, and yes, it's changed quite a lot in that time.
That's a really interesting thing, because there's a stat I always state that 75% of business acquisitions don't work in the UK, but yours, because it was obviously a long courting period.
Yes.
And you both had similar aims?
Yes, very much so, and I think because Graf is such a global business, so parent company in Germany, but subsidiaries all around the world, and export their products to over 80 countries around the world now. So certainly found a model that works. One part of which is to let the business that's in the country manage itself. It's one of the things I love about it. It makes my role much more sort of interesting, and I'm accountable for what we do in the UK, and they lead me to it. And because UK is, every market is different, every country has a different culture, a different way of doing business.
Sorry, I didn't mean it to go this way. It's not like the golden arches. The golden arches of McDonald's doesn't fit everywhere, does it?
No, indeed.
And one thing we've all learned is about collaboration. So if you can pull on the strengths of your colleagues,
yes,
in Europe, and likewise, it's
exactly.
Going to be a great
There's always a way to share what's going on country to country, but then change it, adapt it slightly to make it suit the market that you're in, the way your customers do business, the way your kind of country works. And so we've dealt with in a previous business an American supplier who very much wanted it to be, no, this is the way we do it, and it was less successful. I think the way the Germans kind of do leave it to country by country does seem more effective.
Okay, so University of Northampton Sustainability Summit, thank you very much for being a headline sponsor. I thought your talk was really insightful as to what you do, and in some ways, not everyone will know anything about your business, but your business touches everyone, doesn't it, in some respects?
In one way or another, it absolutely does, and you're right in that a lot of people don't know about the majority of our products because they're all buried underground. And so, reason for involvement, we have been working now for the past year to 18 months with the University of Northampton, with some students who are working on a few projects for us, and so that's kind of a longer term program that they're looking to help us develop and learn more things, or sort of helps us, because they get content for their studies and we get whatever the great ideas that they come up with. So that kind of got us involved with the university, and then a colleague of mine was at this summit last year, and so we decided it was a great opportunity. As I mentioned in my opening talk, it's 10 years for us this year, and we want this to be a bit of a milestone, point at which we now start to have a slightly bigger voice and become better known out, not just in our industry, but everyone can have a better or can take more personal responsibility when it comes to water.
Yeah, and we can definitely, I think in some ways you're very innovative and also very brave in what you're doing, because we can learn from you. What can you tell people on a business perspective that you and your colleagues have learned that you're happy to share as to how they can accelerate their sustainability practices?
Well, I think the first thing we did because we've gone down the Planet Mark accreditation route, and so the first part that meant we had to do was measure all of our sort of our impact, the impact of our business, and that's a process in itself. But fortunately, they help you with it. That's the starting point. You have to know the numbers. You have to know what impact you're having before you can then start to really look at the detail of, well, what can we do about it to reduce it? When it comes specifically to water, it's a bit more straightforward than that. It's just, can you use an alternative to mains water. Rainwater is usually always available. We're lucky with that in the UK. Some would say it lucky, some not. But the first 4 months of this year, more rain than any of us wanted. But did any of it get put to good use? Some of it for sure, but nowhere near as much as could have. And now we are very, very likely to have a very dry summer.
Yep.
Perhaps, hosepipe bans, all that sort of stuff. And we'll look back to the first 4 months of the year and think, well, the truth is no one will think about it because they don't, right? And that's sort of why we want to communicate more, why we want to make it more of a subject and topic that people think about.
Well done. So Matthew, thank you again for sponsoring the University of Northampton Sustainability Summit. Who is the best university in the UK?
I assume that's Northampton.
Yay! Well done, thank you.